A single sock, not a pair, just one sock. When I was about 20, my aunt gave me a cheese, meat, and cracker combo as a gift. The meat was summer sausage, but her dog had already bitten into it. Although most of it was intact, there were clear bite marks all over. I still ate the cheese and crackers. One year for my birthday, my parents gave me $50 in cash to buy Pogs. They took me to a store where my dad said the prices were good. I bought the only Pogs available, but they were expensive, and I spent the entire $15. My parents then scolded me for using all the money on so few items, even though my dad had said the price was reasonable. I felt terrible, thinking we must have been struggling financially and that I had wasted the money. 2 months later, for my brother's birthday, he had a big party, and my dad bought him a $25 Nerf gun. This happened over 20 years ago, but it still hurts. This isn't about me, but my mom. Out of 6 grandkids, my mom and her 5 siblings, my great-grandmother singled out my mom as the one she despised. Even as a child, my mom was hated by her because she resembled her own mother, who my great-grandmother couldn't stand. One Christmas, my great-grandmother gave presents to all the grandkids except my mom. My grandmother, enraged, got into a shouting match with her. To spite her, my great-grandmother cut out pictures of models from a magazine, handed them to my mom, and called them paper dolls. No gift at all. My ex and I had agreed to exchange gifts, but he didn't care enough to get me anything. True story. I was storing a few boxes of items I didn't want anymore in my boyfriend's shed, planning to sell them at a yard sale later. That Christmas, I went to his family's gathering, and every gift he gave to his relatives came from my yard sale boxes. I was beyond humiliated. For my 16th birthday, my grandfather sent me a homemade card. He used Paint Shop Pro to design it, printing it on regular paper and folding it twice. The front featured stretched clip art of a cartoon teenager next to 16 stacked clip art poops. Inside it read, 16 years old? I didn't know they could stack it that high. The envelope contained a single dime. He was completely in his right mind, just an unapologetic jerk. My brother-in-law is a spoiled, arrogant guy from a wealthy family. I didn't like him, and he didn't like me either. One Christmas, we accidentally got each other the same gift. Hideous, cheap $2 clearance sweaters from Kmart. A Ziploc bag filled with cotton balls labeled Ghost Poos in Sharpie. On my 16th birthday, my parents promised to pay for my driver's license when I turned 18. A year later, they said they'd pay for half of it. By the time I turned 18, the promise had changed again. They would help cover part of the cost. When I finally got my license at 20, they ended up paying for only one of the 15 or more lessons I needed. A guy I dated in college once gave me a framed photo of himself as a Christmas present. I assumed it was a joke. It wasn't. My dad didn't get me anything for graduation, but the next day he took me along to buy his third wife a diamond necklace while we were in my college town. A few years earlier, he told me he was sorry about my struggles to pay tuition, but then bragged about spending $12,000 on an engagement ring. Oddly enough, I'm now very close to his third wife, and the jewelry is supposed to be willed to me. However, I fully expect him to take it back if there's ever a wife number 4. He's a terrible person. The worst gift I ever received was for my 18th birthday while I was at boarding school. I got a package in the mail, which is usually exciting when you're away from home. Inside, I found 1, a draft registration card, even though my family knew I was strongly against the military. 2, a book by Andy Rooney, who I found funny as a child, but not as a teenager. 3, a card that said, "Happy birthday. Don't get excited. There's no money in here." When I opened it, the inside read, "What are you looking for? We told you there's no money in here." The house mother ended up giving me a better gift, a grocery store sheet cake. My family later wondered why I never came home during college. My stepmother once bought me a shirt that said, "Blondes have more fun." I've always been a brunette. I love cooking, and people always praise my food, including my mother-in-law. For my wedding, she gave me a beginner's cookbook as a gift. It was so basic that it included instructions for making grilled cheese or reheating canned soup. I could see the satisfaction on her face as she tried to ruin my special day. It was a deliberate insult. That was 25 years ago, and we now see her for about an hour each year. She's still spiteful and filled with hatred. I gave my girlfriend over $300 worth of jewelry, and in return, she got me $10 worth of cleaning supplies. She handed them to me with the words, "I know you like cleaning, so here." For my 16th birthday, my mom took us to a spa, but instead of doing anything for me, we sat there while she got a facial for herself. It wasn't exactly fun. My aunt hates me and my sister. She used to give us Pizza Hut gift cards, which was exciting because we didn't have much money and rarely ate out. However, the cards always had small leftover amounts on them, like $3 from when she had already used them. Once I was fooled into trying to pay for pizza with a card that said $50 but had almost nothing left on it. I had to call my parents to cover the cost, and I never fell for it again. My dad once gave me an already opened bag of peanut M&Ms for my birthday. He's a wonderful person, but terrible at remembering holidays. The family joke is that he probably bought the bag for himself, started eating it on the way home, and then realized it was my birthday when he arrived. To his credit, it was a big bag. My ex-mother-in-law gave me a broken, used tape dispenser for Christmas one year. My kids still remember it. Another time, she gave me an oversized purple sweater, and my ex-husband had to wait with me in line to return it. After standing there for over an hour, we found out it was a clearance item worth $75. Meanwhile, my sisters-in-law would receive $100 gift cards, luxury items, or things from the wish list we provided. She wasn't just a bad gift giver. These were small examples of her overall terrible personality. Someone gave me a book called How to Be a Good Jewish Mother as a gift. I'm not Jewish, I'm a man, and I don't have kids. The book now sits on my bookshelf, and visitors always ask about it. For my birthday, my wife gave me a hideous red and blue Tommy Hilfiger shirt that was 2 sizes too small. Later that night, she ended up wearing it to bed herself. A gift card to a store that had gone out of business a year earlier. When I got married, my mom handed me $10 and said, "Good luck." My parents were financially comfortable and had paid for all 4 of my sister's weddings as well as my brother's boarding school. I once bought a bag of Lindt chocolates for myself, but they mysteriously vanished before I could eat any. At Christmas, my aunt gave me the same bag of chocolates, now nearly expired, that she had apparently hidden from me. I have a couple of examples, and the issue wasn't the gifts themselves, but how they were presented. For my 13th birthday, I got a CD Walkman. I was thrilled until I walked into the living room and saw my 2 sisters wearing the exact same Walkmans. It wasn't their birthday, so I assumed there was a sale. Then for my 40th birthday, my mom gave me a stunning birthstone ring, and I was overjoyed again. But then she mentioned that my sisters loved their matching rings too, despite their birthdays being nowhere near mine.